Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents Scents. You want to hear a dirty word? Hype. Ooh. That's a bad word. Yeah, hype comes in many shapes, forms, facets. And not all hype is created equally. Today we're talking about fragrances that are actually worth getting. Hype or no hype. All of these are gonna be linked in the description. Let's get started now. With a fragrance that I don't even friggin' like. 1 Million Parfum. I actually dropped this like right before starting the video. I have injured my bottle. The build quality. Look at this injury right here, guys. You see this right here? A little piece sticking out. That sucks. I'm gonna end up cutting myself on that one day somehow. Oh, it's like, oh. It's a small piece of plastic on the inside that broke off. I'm just push it back inside there, pretend that doesn't exist. That's the correct way to deal with things. Yeah, see if it's still, yeah, that's good. So yeah, 1 Million Parfum, this fragrance right here, gotta say, I was not in love with it when it came out, still not in love with it, but I will say, women love this stuff. Like, big compliment puller. It's really unique as far as 1 Million fragrances go because it smells essentially like sunscreen with leather. I can taste it. Oh, I did it again, guys. Oh my God. So yeah, sunscreen mixed with leather. Technically it has solar notes. It was one of the first big men's fragrances that came out advertising solar notes, hence the design here. A little bit like Paimon in Hereditary, if you've ever seen that movie. Don't look that up. If you've never seen that movie, don't look that up. It's a horror movie. But leaving that aside, as far as the notes go here, outside of the solar notes and the leather, it's white florals. There's tuberose in here, one of the main notes, ambergris and salt. And it's one of those scents that could potentially grow on you if you don't love it initially, but even if it never does, the reactions of this stuff when you're wearing it, it's top notch. And with typical Rabanne styling, projection longevity is great. Oh no. Do you hear that? It's rattling around inside there. I don't know if you can hear that. Probably just hear the fragrance. Great, cool, nice. Choo Man Ice. Now, this Rahur is not the type of fragrance that gets crazy hype. It got a decent amount of love when it first came out. And then over time, gets mentioned sometimes as like a good cheap fragrance. By the way, atomizer, fantastic. But also it occasionally steps back into the back rooms and nobody sees it for a while. People were like, oh, was that Jimmy? I forget. But this is a scent that I think is sneaky good. The performance, it sucks. So there is that. But it is still inexpensive. The main reason the performance sucks, it's an eau de toilette and it has a bunch of citrus in here. It's trying to go for that ice vibe, like refreshing, brisk off the top, which it is. It smells similar to Dior Homme Cologne when you first spray it on. So if you're familiar with that, this one is gonna smell quite similar off the top, which means it also smells similar to Mercedes-Benz Cologne, which was a hype monster for a very short amount of time. That's this one right here, which this was really good. Operative word was discontinued, unfortunately. So good job, Mercedes. Got some floaters in my bottle. Love that. That's that Mercedes-Benz quality control in action. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, let's see if we can see those on camera. Yeah, you see all that? Most of the time with fragrances, you're not gonna see that much sediment in your bottle, but that is pretty rough. That is not good quality control. Sorry I got sidetracked, but yeah, this right here, absolutely fantastic if you love citrus, sort of like iced lemonade vibe fragrances. Off the top, it is killer. It smells amazing when it's hot outside. You just have to reapply, but it is cheap. Ramad Oriental Arabiyat Prestige. This right here is a dupe of Outlands by Amouage. And this one was getting quite a lot of hype and for good reason. It has a pressurized atomizer. That's the whole reason right there, but it doesn't have a magnetic cap. Good amount of cardamom off the top in here. Also has saffron as it dries down, nice sweetness in there. A Papanax, benzoin, vanilla, olibanum, just a lot of different resins in there, a little touch of that incense coming through. Longevity is good, projection is good, quality is good, price is good. As I said, got a ton of hype for being the first really well done high-end dupe of Outlands and still one of the absolute best out there. One of the best clone releases of the past year or two. But it is gonna be obviously fall, winter time fragrance. Spring, summer, no thank you. Let's throw it back, guys. Let's throw it back to La Nuit de l'Homme, the original. Now, as of when I'm filming this, there is a new La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Parfum coming out, but I don't have it yet. It's popped up on YSL's website, but not where you can buy it, just where there's like information about it. I've been keeping my eyes open, but I ain't found it yet. At least not as when I'm filming this. So the original La Nuit, this right here, has been one of the most hyped releases ever. And it's one of those deals where you can go a long time without smelling this. And when you go back to it, it just kind of hits you all over again. And you're like, oh, of course it's been hyped. It smells friggin' awesome. Like the cardamom that's in here, I mean, it is the cardamom fragrance for so many people. I know, like, even before I had a channel, before I talked about anything in front of a camera, it was like, do you wanna know cardamom, like how it smells? Well, get La Nuit de l'Homme, and when you smell that, a lot of what you're getting when you first spray it on is gonna be cardamom. So then take that, file that away in your brain, SpongeBob SquarePants style, and when you smell other things that have cardamom as a note, when you pick up that same thing that La Nuit de l'Homme has, you're like, ah, oh, there's cardamom. Which of course, cardamom can come across actually a bunch of different ways, but that was kind of the vibe back then. Now it also has some woody notes in there. It's got lavender, one of the best evening fragrances for men ever. The only drawback with this one is it's from a different time. You know, this came out like 2009, and it's from a time where not everyone was obsessed with every fragrance being like just soul scorching in terms of performance. So yeah, it doesn't project like a monster. Longevity is average at best, you know, but it's still magnetic. People still love it, still an attention grabber. Maybe just go a little heavier than you would a lot of new fragrances, but it's worth the hype. And I gotta link that up with this right here. The One, this is the new Parfum right here. It is way stronger than the One Eau de Toilette. Like, it is a different stratosphere as far as that goes. And then compared to the One Eau de Parfum, you know, the original, this definitely outperforms that as well. Presentation looks nice. The atomizer upgraded. I love this stuff. Like, I could not be more excited that they brought the One back. You know what I'm saying? They basically killed it off, dude. They pulled an old Yeller. Dolce Gabbana was like, hey, the One. Hey, buddy, you have been doing a great job. Let me tell you that. Really, really appreciate those flankers we've done, bud. Come with me around the back of the barn here. I gotta show you some new designs I'm working on. Come over here. Then you just hear a couple gunshots. Dolce & Gabbana come back out and they're like, what? The One? No, I haven't seen the One in forever. Don't go back there. No, seriously, don't go back there unless you want to be next. That's what happened. That's what it felt like. In my head, that's what happened. But then some time passed and then they came to their senses and they said, let's bring the One back. Proper this time. Exquisite. This has everything that the One Parfum should have. Little touch of citrus off the top, amber and tobacco as it dries down, bits of woodiness and amber, just sweet, warm, sexy, and with amplified performance. This stuff is awesome. As of right this millisecond, this is my favorite new release of the year. Even though technically it came out right at the very, 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 very end of 2025, but that don't count. It's 2026, come on. You can't release something in like December and then be like, oh, it counts for this year. No, gotta be a little earlier than that because I said so. Next one is Unbeatable. But before that, codes. We got a few different codes for you here. This helps me see. Yeah, we got Fragflex, the perfume box, JOMASHOP, bro. You like discounters? I got discount codes. They're also in the description, so anytime you shop in any of these stores, copy paste those codes, save yourself some cash flow. Well, since I'm wearing this, and actually it's kind of stuck to my eye now, Luna Rossa Carbon. Ah, is it? I'll put on this one now. Ooh, look like a Resident Evil villain. So Luna Rossa Carbon, the original, this one, big hype beast. I mean, when it first came out, people were clamoring for this stuff. Does not get as much hype nowadays as it used to, but it's still worth picking up. Definitely worth smelling if you never have for some reason. Also, they came out with the new Luna Rossa Carbon Eau de Parfum, which is very solid. It doesn't smell super similar to this one, but it's still good in its own way. This, of course, smells similar to Dior Sauvage, the Eau de Toilette. Yeah, so it smells similar to Sauvage EDT, only your typical Prada styling. A little bit smoother, slightly more elegant, slightly more classy, not as aggressive, but still doing the overall same thing for the most part.
Hey, you like what I'm wearing? Hey, give me a compliment. Hey.
Super versatile, super wearable, super nice. Afnan Lynked Freedom up next. This is a solid dandy. What's it smell like? Well, it smells like two things made into one, which if the Spice Girls have taught me anything, when two become one, it makes a good fragrance. That's what that song is about, right? Spice Girls. Technically, you know, fragrances have spices in them.
When to become one.
So this is two fragrances put together, YSL Myself, and also the most wanted by Asrar, the Parfum. Between those two leans much further toward the Myself side of things, the fresh, clean side of things. It's just as it dries down, it takes on more of a woodiness compared to the original Myself by itself. So you get that woodiness, a little sweetness from the most wanted side of things. And when you put those together, it makes a scent that you can wear whenever you want, man. Daytime, nighttime, any season, doesn't matter. The bottle is nice, turbo heavy, decent looking as well. You know, with the cologne fragrances, sometimes you get some wacky looking bottles, which I like some wacky stuff. Like, look at this. Yeah, it's two fragrances in one, man. Two fragrances that you put together and it makes an R. This is Riffs, Spectra, and Surge. By the way, both of these suck. This stuff is garbage, but the bottle is an R. This looks so plain in comparison, but the fragrance is like 10 times better than those. Honestly, about 10 times better. Like it is. So Afnan Lynked Freedom, this stuff, fantastic. I thought I chucked that too far, I did not. Gentleman Society Ambrée. Up next. This is pretty good. As far as the Gentleman Society lineup, that one is, in my opinion, the best one. It maintains that floral aspect that the other Gentleman Society fragrances have, but this one takes it a little bit darker, a little bit deeper, richer, sweeter. So it has iris and narcissus both. It also has tobacco, it's got vanilla, decent amount of woodiness in there also. It will absolutely grow on you. This stuff, when I first got it in, I liked it. I liked it a pretty good amount, actually, at the time. I think that I liked it more than all the other Gentleman Society fragrances by a decent amount, but just as time went on, it was like I liked it more and more and more and more, and now it is clearly firmly entrenched as the absolute best for me of all the Gentleman Society fragrances. And it's good enough that I'd put it right there with the other Gentleman fragrances, you know, outside of the Society line, like Reserve Privé, Eau de Toilette Intense, stuff like that. I'd put this right up at the tippy top, probably with Reserve Privé. Maybe just under that one, but it's right there. It's one of those ones that just, the more you smell it, the more you like it. Throne Eclipse is up next. Built-in atomizer. This is another fragrance that is a melding of two scents together. So this is Maison Asrar, which is also Gulf Orchid. So if you look at the bottom, the sticker actually says Gulf Orchid. But if you look this up online, it's Maison Asrar, so you know. So note-wise, you've got cardamom in here, you have cinnamon, you've got apple, you got vanilla, you have amber, woody notes as well. It is like PDM Altair mixed with Blonde Amber by Clive Christian. So basically just taking two of the more hyped niche fall wintertime fragrances out there for men and just smushing them together. And when you first spray it on, you're gonna get a little more of the Blonde Amber aspect. Off the top anyway, that's what I get. And then as it dries down, it transitions more towards the PDM side of things. Of course, you're gonna get bits and facets in the opening, the mid, and the dry down of both fragrances, but just as far as like which one comes across more clearly, that's kind of how it is for me. Great projection, great longevity. It is an amazing blend of scents, which is something that I've actually really liked here lately from different dupe houses. Because it gives you something like new, you know? It's like same, but different. We're gonna finish with the 2-for-1 here. So we're gonna do technically 11 fragrances. Boom, Le Male Parfum, Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Couple Lee perfumes, yeah. So of these two, this is obviously hyped more, Le Male Parfum. And I would say this stuff is one of the best Le Parfums / Parfum in general flankers ever. It really helped revitalize this line and kind of kicked it up a notch, and then you had the elixir that came after it. It's got that lavender in there just like the original Le Male, but then you have the iris, you have the warm spices, the vanilla. This stuff is classy, it's sexy, touch powdery, but still smells amazing. Fall and winter time, you can't go wrong with this. And then Fahrenheit Le Parfum, this stuff absolutely rules. Although Fahrenheit as a line, you know, it's kind of dead right now. I don't know when or if they're ever gonna come out with anything new. They should, but this right here captures bits and pieces of the original Fahrenheit, you know, little of that petrol kind of vibe, not as heavy-handed with the gasoline aspect, but it's got a little touch of that smooth type leather vibe in here and nice booziness. A little bit sweeter than the original Fahrenheit, more elegant, more refined, higher end. Absolutely killer, and it's something that it's worth the hype. I know everybody always loves Dior Homme Parfum, the original, and for good reason, that stuff rules, but this was right there with it. You know, in my mind, it was like, oh, Fahrenheit Parfum and Dior Homme Parfum, like these are like the pinnacles, you know, and that one, so good. But they need to bring the Fahrenheit love back, come on. All right, guys, there we go. There it is, some fragrances that have gotten that hype train kicked off. They're worth it. I wanna thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys. Kind of like smack my head in a weird way.